Hello, it's Andrew. One second, a helicopter's passing very slowly, very slowly. Anyways, I want to yell over it. It's loud to me. I don't know if it's loud on the vlog. Um, all right, today or right now, I got a book from a thrift shop on Egypt. I saw the Bible and I grabbed the Bible, but the beginning of the Bible through Exodus is in Egypt. So I'm like, well, let's learn more about that. So the Nile is 560 miles. Uh, it started by flooding. One in central Sudan. It's called the White Nile. And when that kind of evaporates further into summer, monsoon rains fill the Blue Nile in the Ethiopian highlands. But in 1968, they made the Aswan Dam, and it no longer floods every year because they just control the water for travel reasons and agriculture reasons of year-round production. But I bet a less diverse kind of agriculture is there now, or less specified. I don't know exactly the natures of agriculture. Sorry. Um, Egypt goes from before and to 3,100 BC to 30 BC for like kings and pharaohs and all that. They found the Rosetta Stone, which is how they decrypted the language in hieroglyphs. It's written in Greek, Egyptian hieroglyphs, and Demotic. Not demonic. Demonic. Yeah. Demotic. Most pyramid texts were first discovered in Unasis' tomb, and they're like spells texts trying to let the king join the gods. Like basically, it's like oh, gatekeeper of heaven, don't cast judgment poorly on this man. Let him into heaven, and that's like all the text in the tomb. The wonders of the world, the ancient wonders of the world. You've heard of the 7 wonders of the world. If not, look them up. They're kind of cool. Remain the ancient 4th dynasty, the Giza pyramids, which are Khufu's the largest one, Khafre is the medium one, and Menkaure, I don't know, is the small one. But the small pyramids beside these pyramids, if you've seen a map or ever wondered why, like, what are the small pyramids beside the large pyramid? It's the queens, by the way. So the kings and their queens are entombed and forever in history, I suppose. The Valley of Kings is actually 2 valleys. And something about the sun going up in the east and then setting in the west is like the same ritual as they would admire, like a pilgrimage from valley to valley, and also like how the sun sets in one is like their passage to the underworld, and how the sun rises is like the rise of a new king, or how the king comes to them every day, or something like that. I didn't write it down, but it has something to do with the way the sun does its job. All goods were stolen, but that of Tutankhamun's tomb, it was entered, but saved by the priests, apparently. And the Valley of Kings has 20 tombs in it, of kings. Osiris. Okay, there's a story of Osiris, which it's debated whether he was a real king or in mythology. So far, maybe one day we'll figure that out. But I'm just gonna talk about it from a mythology standpoint. When Osiris was king, his brother Seth was jealous of him, and he basically invited him to a banquet, killed him, and sent his body parts down the river. Or up the river, I suppose, depending on what river. The Nile goes up. They found every piece of him, pardon the anatomy of this, but his penis. And they made a clay one for him, and entombed him in that way. And his wife was Isis, and Osiris became king of the underworld, and Isis is I read in another book is the mother of sons, and Horus is called the Sedge and the Bee. The Nile and the Sedge is the Nile Valley, and the Bee is the Delta. I guess the Eye of Horus, he gave his eye to his father for the resurrection of him. And I guess, like the Eye of Horus, like I forget exactly how it goes, like something like that, and then like it goes round or something. But I guess this would be like surgical marks because, they had to take out his eye and give it to his father. So, for like the altar of the gods, they would start by getting some sort of lightning bolt or something to that extent, and it's basically called the Finger of Seth. And it would be like tribute paid to Horus and Osiris, and then they would open the shrine door, and they'd be like, "Behold, I have shown to you the Eye of Horus," and they'd open the shrine door, and it's called like the doors of heaven. So like, he gave his eye to his father to resurrect him, so he'd no longer be in the underworld, or maybe still in the underworld. I really didn't get that far into it, but anyways, he basically showed him like the afterlife. So like, or another life. So it's like the doors of heaven opening. That's all I have for now. This is just part one. I'm gonna read more about Egypt. If you want, in the comment box, just state a name, say something about Egypt, and maybe I'll like specify on that subject for you, or maybe just comment back. Thank you. Bye.